Have you ever wondered what it feels like to live with the sensation that, no matter how high you jump, someone else has always gotten there first? Someone who lifted the trophy you've dreamed about, someone who lived exactly what you spent years chasing but never found? This is the untold story of two of the greatest point guards of this generation, Damian Lillard and Stephen Curry. On the surface, the two seem like reflections of the same American dream. Two kids underestimated since high school who became silent assassins in the NBA. Two players who redefined what it means to shoot from the perimeter, who sent defenders into panic from meters beyond the three-point line. But when you look at the details, their paths reveal a brutal contrast. On one side, Stephen Curry, the face of the Golden State Warriors' modern dynasty. For championship titles, 2 MVP awards, three-point records shattered one after another, and the unanimous respect of teammates, coaches, and fans all over the world. On the other side, Damian Lillard, 9-time All-Star, 7 All-NBA selections, impressive numbers, unforgettable moments, but still empty-handed when it comes to the Larry O'Brien trophy. And it was precisely this invisible gap that Lillard addressed without filters. During a conversation on the podcast, Eye for the Game, hosted by Austin Rivers, he set aside the shield of pride and made room for something rare in professional sports: honesty. It was always like this. Steph would take off, and I'd be chasing him. I wanted what he had. Lillard revealed, a simple sentence, yet one that echoes as a powerful confession. Because inside the NBA, admitting that you're chasing someone, that another athlete's career became the ruler by which you measure your own dreams, requires more courage than any game-winning shot. And if you're passionate about real stories, about emotions that stats can't capture, and about rivalries that shape the DNA of the NBA, you've come to the right place. So go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Here, we don't just bring you the news, we dive into what it means. Lillard's path has always been marked by an insatiable hunger for overcoming obstacles. In Portland, he built his legend as the soul of a team that almost never offered the ideal conditions to chase a championship. Even so, Lillard stacked up legendary performances, iconic game winners, and one of the rarest displays of loyalty modern sports has ever witnessed. But the truth is, basketball doesn't reward talent alone. It rewards context, timing, and often luck. While Lillard was fighting for every win, Curry was transforming the Warriors franchise into a true empire. His style of play not only revolutionized the NBA, but also redefined what it means to be a point guard. What once seemed impractical, pulling up for a shot 5 or 6 meters away from the basket in the flow of the game, became routine. And it didn't take long for every championship Curry won to become yet another shadow cast over Lillard's shoulders. And it was exactly that shadow that Lillard exposed on the podcast. I was super competitive with Steph, especially during those years when I thought, no, I can do that too. A sentence that carries the weight of someone who always believed their talent was enough, but who watched, year after year, the trophy slip away, while his rivals stacked championship rings. Today, at 34 years old, Lillard is facing a new challenge in Milwaukee. His adaptation to the Bucks has been marked by ups and downs, but the numbers show he's still one of the greats. Nearly 25 points per game, over 7 assists, and a constant presence in clutch moments. He hasn't slowed down. If anything, he's hungrier than ever. Meanwhile, Curry, now 36 and in his 16th NBA season, continues to defy the laws of time. His ability to reinvent himself seems endless. Wearing the Warriors jersey, he's still averaging over 24 points per game, remains the team's offensive cornerstone, and once again finds himself facing a crucial game that could reshape the course of the entire season. The next chapter of this story unfolds this Sunday, when the Golden State Warriors host the Los Angeles Clippers in a matchup that goes far beyond just another win or loss in the standings. The game could seal the team's playoff fate. If they win, the Warriors secure a direct spot, avoiding the play-in tournament, and keep alive the hope for yet another title run. If they lose, they may have to face a much harder and more uncertain path, where a single slip could shatter the dream. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Lillard watches and waits. Each passing season is another reminder that time shows no mercy. His quest for a title is more than just a sports mission. It's a race against the clock. And even with all his brilliance, Even with all the nights where he stepped up as a hero, there's still one thing that separates him from Curry: the weight of the trophy. Something that, no matter how much Lillard believes he's capable of conquering, he still hasn't found the path to hold. And that's the beauty of sports. The line between hero and incomplete is thinner than we imagine. And even for legends like Lillard, the truth is painful. Sometimes talent and dedication just aren't enough. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Damian Lillard will still manage, before the end of his career, to reach the same level as Curry? Or will time turn him into one of those icons remembered for what they did, but also for what they never managed to conquer? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to keep following these stories, these rivalries, and the behind-the-scenes drama that make the NBA so much more than just a game, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Because here, every detail matters, and every story could be the beginning of a new legend. What if I told you that the Golden State Warriors might be much closer to a new revolution than any fan could possibly imagine? That behind the curtains, far from the spotlight, the front office has been carefully watching every move and name that could set the NBA offseason on fire and completely reshape the future of this franchise? Close your eyes for a second and picture the scene. Stephen Curry orchestrating the play, Jimmy Butler cutting to basket, and in the corner, ready for the game-winning shot, Bradley Beal. It might sound unlikely right now, but the reality is that this scenario is getting closer and closer to stepping out of the rumor mill and coming to life in San Francisco. To truly understand the weight of the speculation, it's impossible not to look back. Ever since they lifted the first trophy of the Curry era, the Warriors have mastered the art of reinvention. When everyone thought the roster was complete, they shocked the world by convincing Kevin Durant to join a team that had already broken the 73-win record in a single season. When Klay Thompson's injury seemed like the end of the road, they didn't hesitate to pull the trigger on the trade that sent D'Angelo Russell to Minnesota in exchange for Andrew Wiggins. A move few understood at the time, but one that proved essential for yet another title in 2022. Now, with Thompson and Wiggins already gone, the landscape points to a strategic rebuild, and all signs behind the scenes suggest that another bold move could be on the horizon. And by the way, if you're passionate about NBA backstage stories and don't want to miss a single detail of this potential turning point for the Warriors, make sure to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll be part of a select group that hears the news long before it hits the major sports outlets. So don't miss out, smash that button, turn on notifications, and join us on this journey. The news that put the Warriors back in the center of the rumor spotlight came straight out of Phoenix. According to John Gambadoro, one of the most respected voices when it comes to the Suns, Bradley Beal's future could drastically change in the coming weeks. The veteran shooting guard, who arrived in Arizona surrounded by sky-high expectations, never really fit into the playstyle of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. The chemistry just didn't click, injuries got in the way, and now the scenario is pointing toward a possible buyout. A release that would allow Beal to choose his next destination. And guess who's emerging among the favorites to start talks if that happens? The Golden State Warriors. The rumor was quickly reinforced by Evan Sidery, a Forbes journalist who specializes in the NBA market, who listed 4 teams as potential contenders: the Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, and of course, the Warriors. And this is where the story starts to get interesting, because despite going through an unstable season with the Suns, Beal still posted respectable numbers. 17 points per game, nearly 50% shooting from the field, and over 38% from beyond the arc, numbers that, for many, don't reflect his true talent, especially considering he spent much of the season trying to adjust to a tactical system that was never designed for his style of play. In Golden State, however, the situation would be completely different. Playing alongside Curry, Beal would have the space to shoot, the freedom to create, and, most importantly, a proven offensive structure that perfectly highlights his greatest strength: decision-making under pressure. Imagine opposing defenses trying to handle a lineup where Butler, Beal, and Curry constantly switch roles, confuse defenders, and keep the offensive pace at full throttle. It might sound like a distant dream, but that's exactly the type of scenario the Warriors executives are carefully analyzing right now. Behind this quiet movement lies a clear motivation: the void left by Klay Thompson. The beloved icon is gone, and the front office still hasn't fully filled that gap. And despite all the criticism Beal received in Phoenix, he's still seen around the league as a premium piece, a player capable of elevating any offense to a whole new level. And as if that weren't enough, there's another factor that weighs heavily in this equation: the Warriors' desire to maximize every remaining second of Stephen Curry's prime. Number 30 is still performing at an elite level, but the championship window won't stay open forever. The front office knows this. The locker room knows this. And that's exactly why every rumor involving high-caliber names spreads like wildfire in the halls of Chase Center. But what if Beal actually joins the Warriors? The impact would be immediate. Steve Kerr's system, which prioritizes off-ball movement and efficient spacing, seems tailor-made for the shooting guard skill set. Opposing defenses will be faced with an impossible choice: double-team Curry and leave Beal wide open, or stick to individual matchups and watch Butler and Draymond Green exploit every defensive hole. A dilemma that, so far, very few teams have managed to solve, even without Beal in the equation. Now, if the trade doesn't happen, the future still holds tough decisions for the Warriors. Cap space, the development of young players like Kuminga, Moody, and Podziemski, and even potential new trades are all looming on the horizon. But everything revolves around one central point: staying competitive alongside Curry while it's still possible. And that's exactly where Beal enters the conversation, as a potential piece that could put the Warriors back in title contention, not just for 2025, but for the years to come. So now I leave the question to you. If Bradley Beal is bought out by the Suns, should the Warriors do everything they can to sign him? Or would it be wiser to stick with the current roster, bet on the development of their young core, and wait for a safer moment to chase another star? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you love diving deep into the NBA's behind the scenes, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because at any moment a new rumor or blockbuster trade could break. Here, you won't miss a thing. See you in the next video.